You understand that, mister? She finished singing. When are you going to realize this, mister? Riboy no shalom, riboy no shalom, shemidas ben yodom, riboy no shalom, shemidas ben yodom, riboy no shalom. Everybody. That too complicated for you? Let's talk about Hillary Clinton. That's a very fascinating person. Are you aware of the election in America here? You are? Did you know that she's running for president right now? Do you know that nobody in the world could figure this out? Her only claim to fame to be a president is that her husband was president. She herself accomplished nothing. She's been in the Senate for 7 years. Nobody knew she was there. She hung around wasting her time. Everybody sitzt da, did nothing. She voted. Do you know that she voted for the war? She voted for the Iraq war. Now she says she was always against it. She never believed in the war. 3 years she never complained about the war. She said the war is the most brilliant idea that ever happened, and she was totally in favor of the war. Now Barack Obama said, I was always against the war, and you voted for the war. And all of a sudden he became more popular than her. Why did you vote for the war? She said, who knew I was voting? I had no idea I was voting. I knew there was a war going on. Nobody told me I voted for the war. My hand happened to be up. They said I voted. I never knew of it. Besides, just because you vote for a war doesn't mean you go into a war. You vote for a war and you forget about it. You don't get involved in a war just because you voted. Besides, she said there were so many wars. How would I know which war they were talking about? How would I know which war? Nobody told me which war. Besides, I expected a small war. If I knew it would be a big war, I would never. Now she says a new excuse. A new excuse now is that Bush fooled her into voting for the war. First she tells you that Bush is the biggest schmuck that ever lived. She calls him names every day. There's no bigger putz than Bush. Then she says he fooled her into voting for the war. If he's the biggest schmuck in the world and he fooled you, what kind of a schmuck are you? Son of a bitch. I just came here from the United States, you know that? I came to the airport, and I couldn't believe that the brilliant security they have here at your airport. It's the most brilliant security I ever saw in my life. Everything could go through on that conveyor belt, guns, tanks, planes, everything could go through. The only time they stop you is if you got a tweezer. If you got a tweezer, everybody, the tweezer, every time I go to the airport, there's a yente complaining, they took my tweezer, my tweezer. The only people who have tweezed eyebrows are the Indian girls who worked at the airport. They have perfectly tweezed eyebrows. And the Jewish yentas are walking around so hairy now from tweezing. You understand this? You know, if you look like a terrorist, they don't bother you because they're afraid of racially profiling anybody. So they have to be careful not to pick on somebody who looks like a terrorist, because it sounds like it's prejudice against Muslims. So if they see a Muslim walk by, don't bother him. He looks too much like a terrorist. Don't get involved. But if they see a 90-year-old little Jewish India walking around, 12 Indians start surrounding her and pulling her apart, and they start examining her. Take off your dress. Take off your shoes. It took us 6 weeks to put them on. You can't trust them by these conveyor belts. The safest way to fly is El Al. They got the best security system in the world. Nobody gets through. Nobody gets through an airline, an El Al airline. There's the greatest security system in the world. You know, they make you take your clothes off completely before you get on the plane. You know that? Because they know that a bomb could potentially be in any part of your body. They don't know where it could be. It could be anywhere. That's why they feel your whole body. Did you hear about it? They feel your whole body up and down for an hour and a half. I haven't been in Israel lately, but I go to the airport every day. I don't even put my clothes on in the morning. I put a raincoat on. I go straight to the airport. Go ahead, examine whatever you want. It's up to you. All these are jokes, mister. All these are jokes.